The tally on your screen right now. This is a developing situation, but the trends seem to be clear now as far as West Bengal is concerned. What a spectacular win for Mamata Banerjee, and the challengers, the Bharatiya Janata Party, not being able to cross the 3-digit mark, something that was predicted by Prashant Kishore, Mamata Banerjee's chief strategist. The BJP somewhere around 85. Of course, the BJP is still very hopeful that they will be able to take this closer to 120 odd. They feel that there are many of those swing seats where the margin between the winner and the loser is very little. So there will be some swing or the other. But if you look at the TMC's tally, they're very close to their 2016 performance. And back then, they had no challenger. They had almost no challenger in the left. And this time around, despite having a formidable opponent in the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Trinamool Congress has been able to manage 205. Remember, these are initial trends. It's quite possible that the real result may be a little different. But how different, one really does not know. This broadly seems to be the trend. Monideepa Banerjee now joins us. So does Saurabh Gupta from Kalighat. Monideepa, we'll come to you first. And I will repeat and ask my same old question that I've been asking you since morning. What's happening in Nandigram?
That's right. I mean, Sanket, in one short sentence, all I can say is it's turning out to be the cliffhanger of this particular battle for Bengal. Just now, I have had reports come in of the 13th round of counting in which Mamata Banerjee has apparently crossed Shubhendu Adhikari's margin by 1453 votes, and there are 4 more rounds to go. There are already some sources claiming that she is way ahead of him and beaten him, but I'm just being a little conservative about the figures that are being hurled at me from Nandigram. So 1453 lead in the 13th round. That's what I would probably go with at the moment. This after Shubhendu was leading by something like 11,000 votes in the 11th round. So, you know, clearly the whole seesaw situation is sort of playing out right now in Nandigram, and this is promising to be, or it is really, a cliffhanger. I mean, imagine a situation where the Trinamool does brilliantly in Bengal, but Mamata Banerjee loses. I mean, is that a situation that one can even imagine? Hopefully, you know, things will sort out. Just another 3-4 rounds to go. So at the end of maybe another hour at most, we should know what Nandigram has decided. Nandigram, remember, Shubhendu Adhikari, most infamous for his comments calling Mamata Banerjee a begum and talking about Nandigram turning into a mini Pakistan after the elections should Trinamool win. I mean, clearly this is a make or break vote for Nandigram. We'll have to wait for the next 4 rounds.
Absolutely, but Monideepa, whatever you may say, for Shubhendu Adhikari to be in the lead by almost 11,000 votes, and even now a very slender lead or a slender margin with which Mamata Banerjee has started to lead now, do you feel this shows that this was an extremely tough contest for the Chief Minister? Extremely tough. Still is.
Well, what a risk she took. I mean, I'm sure she went to Nandigram knowing full well what risks she was taking. I remember on the 18th of January, she was actually holding one of her first campaign rallies at Nandigram, and that's where she sort of announced out of the blue that what if I fight from Nandigram? And you know, it seemed like a terrific risk. I don't know if it was an entirely off-the-cuff decision. I'm sure they had studied the situation before in Nandigram, but it was a gauntlet she threw down to Shubhendu Adhikari, who seemed set to break her party. So she must have known what the risks were, and she took them. It was a risk, she took them, and maybe at the end of another 4 rounds, we'll know whether it's paying off or not. But certainly, the Chief Minister, leading by such a slender margin at the end of 13th round, does tell a story of its own. And I think the story here is of polarization. Nandigram, it's like an example of what we mean when we say that the vote this time in Bengal was completely polarized on grounds of religion, as we have never seen in Bengal before. Somewhere along the way, that card perhaps won't see Shubhendu Adhikari through to the end. It might. Still, all open. We don't know. I mean, it's a slender margin at the moment, and it might change in Shubhendu's favor any minute. But again, what we are hearing from the ground is that the bloc with a mixed population, Hindus and Muslims, the votes from there have been finished. They have been counted. It's now the other bloc in which there is a huge minority dominance. That's where the votes are coming in from, and therefore we have this seesaw situation and a complete cliffhanger.
Okay.